Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. Yet could it also be the keystone to unlocking many of the unknown mysteries? In this show, we'll be discussing all of the haunts, local legends, and unknown phenomena that have happened right here in our very own backyard. I'm your host, Matt Boyer, a senior investigator in the paranormal field.
And I'm Jacob Bacasa, a junior investigator.
And this is Unearthing the Unknown. Saint Vincent College is rich in its history, yet not always is that the best of things. Some of the most historic places on this campus still have stories of spirits. Whether it is day or night, there are places on this campus that some fear to go because of what lurks in the shadows. This week's episode is the story of the spirits of Sauerkraut Tower and the woods that surround it. All right, Jake. Welcome to probably one of the most interesting places on campus, Sauerkraut Tower.
What makes it so interesting?
Well, there's a lot of different things. Many people have heard different stories, and I think just the name makes people feel interested in it. Sauerkraut Tower. Now, as you can tell, it's not made out of sauerkraut. It's made out of bricks.
Darn. Really?
I know.
Really looking forward to that.
I know.
You know,
I know. Investigation over. I'm done. The mystery of why it's called Sauerkraut Tower. For that, however, you have to go and listen to Stephen and Leo's first episode of the Pit Stop. That's with two T's to tell the history. But just to give a little background, not going to go into all of that because I want to save that for Stephen and Leo. From what my notes are telling me here, it was built in 1893 as a gravity-powered water distribution method for a campus. So originally, it was a water tower.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say Gravity Falls, and it clicked in my brain. Sorry, continue. Just offhanded comment. I'm sorry.
No. So what happened was this was originally a water tower, and it held up to 80,000 gallons of water. Think about that. 80,000 gallons right in there. That's a lot of water. It was built, I know that we mentioned this when we were talking about cool names of monks during the Aurelius Hall story.
I remember that vividly.
This was designed by Brother Wolfgang Traxler. Still, I agree with Stephen and Leo. One of the most badass names for a monk ever. Wolfgang Traxler.
That's a cool name for anybody. Are you kidding? Just let alone a monk.
Anyhow, so what happened was they then later moved it from being a water tower, and it was actually used to help treat sauerkraut here. So what they do is they put it all there.
Hence Sauerkraut Tower.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. No. It was used to help treat the sauerkraut, really in the lower half, because it was a great place for it. Ultimately, it's now been a storage place for the maintenance people here on campus.
It's oddly alluring. It's like looking at it like this.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into that, but instead face the camera a little bit so they're not just seeing your back. So what this is, there's a few different stories of spirits with Saint Vincent's Sauerkraut Tower. The one actually takes place inside the tower. Then there's a second one that I'm briefly going to tell that talks about the woods right behind it. And then I have my own personal stories that kind of combine with both of them.
Spooky woods ghosts, always underappreciated in horror. You never see many of them, but they're always interesting.
Now, last year, I know you and we were on a little adventure, and we went up around the woods a little bit, and we were talking about some of the creepy stuff. So this has been a episode I have been waiting to do, just because of our past with this.
Yeah. I went behind her once with a couple of buddies. Late one night, just kind of on like a little adventure. But...
Yeah. All right, so first story is, it's not that cold, so no matter what Jake says, I'm taking my coat off because I'm overly hot.
Don't listen to him. You can always trust me.
No, you can't. Okay, anyhow, let's actually get into the story. What happened was, back when this was still working as a water tower, and then also a little bit as treating sauerkraut, there was a monk who had pretty much it was like a wind turbine here from, like a windmill contraption that was inside.
A wind turbine, yeah.
Yeah. It became, though it's inside, so it's like, I don't really know how the turbine was working, because it would have to be outside for it, but some kind of windmill...
Something like that, I don't know.
It was some kind of windmill contraption that this monk had there. We don't know the name of the monk, as far as
nameless monk.
Yeah. Well, also, in a way, he's almost, and I almost forgot to mention this, he has kind of a similar story to that of Brother Myolis down at the gristmill. And if you think about it, the gristmill isn't that far
I
behind.
was just about to make a comment about that. And I
No,
was like,
this is neat. This is neat because this is pretty much like the second time something like this happened.
another red thread.
Yeah,
of the corporate.
Exactly. So what my notes are saying here is that he became so obsessed with this contraption of his that he started to neglect his daily duties within the community of monks. So he wouldn't be going to prayer. He wouldn't be helping
He
out.
just gets so enamored by this machine.
Yeah, pretty much.
That sounds like something out of like Five Nights at Freddy's or something. For those of you who are familiar with that.
Yeah. So what happens is he's not doing the work that was supposed to be done. He's not going to daily prayer. He is just absolutely obsessed with being here and working on this contraption. What it says is that one day before prayer, this monk ran off to the tower to make sure that everything was running smoothly with his contraption. But this wasn't planned, his visit. And so none of the other monks knew that he was coming up here. So he's here by himself. And while he's there, checking on some of the machinery, his hood of his habit, just like Brother Myolis's, got caught by the one of the arms of this machine. So one of the windmill turbine blades caught his hood, and it pulled him in and ultimately strangled him and choked him to death.
I'm starting to see a pattern again with the red thread connection.
Again, yeah, like this is almost like the same story that we were telling with Myolis being pulled in by the grinding stones.
I don't like to always make this connection, but it almost seems like every single one of these stories is in a way connected to one another.
It's freaky. And that's the neat thing about St. Vincent is we have all these stories, and as we've made comments before, there is a similar red thread that goes through all of them.
Yeah.
So that just shows the neat thing with Spirit here on this campus. Well, the first ever Benedictine monastery and archabbey, and the oldest one in the United States. Knowing that
That's another good
knowing
point.
that it's such a holy place, yet there is so much of a dark spirit connections with this place. It's cool. It's one of the few things I loved about when I first came here.
I have to note that it's probably like the faceless monk is at the center of these things because he was the first technically.
Who knows?
He could be at the heart of all of these things.
Who knows? Anyhow, so the wind contraption that was in the building was actually up on the second story. So if I don't know
Is
how
there only 2 stories in this, or is it
Yeah,
just the...
pretty much. Now, I mean, technically today, I guess you could probably make a few different stories out of it.
Yeah.
I do know, this is kind of a side note going ahead of time, they are going to be renovating Sauerkraut Tower within the next couple months. Father Paul mentioned this in his interview with Bearcat Buzz.
Oh, fun.
What they're actually going to be doing is turning this into an annex for a lot of the special book collections, because we actually have too many special book collections in the library that they are just piling up that we don't have enough room, and we want to actually display them. So they're going to be put in there.
I can see this being an archive.
Yeah. They're also going to put in like a little area for, small gathering kind of presentations.
Would you able to go in? Because I actually would be interested in seeing.
I think that it will be open to the general public at one point or another, but don't quote me on that. But they'll have the special book collections in there. They'll have a little presentation area and probably a little museum in there with some old artifacts of St. Vincent. Yeah. Getting back here. So I don't know how well the feed is for any of our viewers to see.
We could step aside a little bit and see if it clears
up the lighting. Or...
Ultimately, so we have the door right behind us. Then there's that window right above it. So that's all the first floor.
Let's see if I can get a little close and see. I think it is picking it up at the very top of the screen.
Now, the neat thing is, if you look, Jake, again, don't know how well they can see it, but you can actually see that they redid the windows, that they bricked up the majority of them. See how there's the big arches there?
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, so there were originally huge windows in this
That's
thing.
probably where the wind turbine was.
Maybe. But yeah, so they've pretty much closed them up, but when you look up to the second level, to where that second window is, that's up there is where the wind turbine would have been.
Yeah.
And from what is said here is that, hang on, my notes are being weird for some reason. There we go. It says that he was found there a few hours later by some of the other monks, and ultimately he was found dead, hanging still by that turbine, by his hood. So just imagine, you walk into this building trying to find this monk who was so obsessed, and you just find him there pretty much hanging pretty much like on a noose that was part of his clothing.
He's hanging on his hood.
Yeah, so just hanging there, dangling. absolutely nuts. Now, because of this, it has been told by many students and monks and just anybody who's here on this back road that still to this day, if you look in that topmost windows on the front of Sauerkraut Tower, so the one that is actually facing us right now, and actually I will get a little bit more with this, you can still see the monk at times, or some kind of dark shadow looking at you through that window.
Nah.
Like he is watching us. And I can say for a fact that with my abilities that I've been able to really grow and strengthen in this field, and with everything that I do within the paranormal field, I can say I have seen him watching me. Now, I don't think that he just stays up there, because I have actually seen the face or some kind of other spirit from the lower windows as well.
That's one of my worst nightmares. Like,
It's like not even. Oh my god! I just saw
there was a par light that was like off camera
Yeah.
over there.
it's scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, no. So this is very, very neat, because
Very neat, he said.
yes, because for me as an investigator and you as a junior investigator, which we're gonna,
I don't
really,
even consider myself a junior investor. I'm just like
Yeah.
I'm like
he's mediocre.
I'm like literally at the start.
You're
like
a trainee.
I'm a toddler.
You're a trainee.
I'm a toddler.
Trainee. But you know what? We gave you junior investigator for the opening of the show, just so it sounded more
Makes it catchy.
Yeah. Anyhow, what happened was this. Like I said, I believe that this spirit is in the building, and I've seen him both on the first and second levels of this building. So I know that he's in there. And hearing that so many other people have been able to have experiences seeing him, and I actually think that his abilities are so greater that his energy can come outside the building. And I'll get into that in a little bit here.
Oh.
Yeah. Now let's move on to the second story.
Okay.
And then we'll...
Are there only 2 stories, or is it just...
There's 3, because I'm going to add in mine, and mine kind of ties the other 2 together. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was, in the 1970s, there were 4 kids who went here to Saint Vincent, most likely, 4 boys. However,
Was
for my mistake, no, not 4 boys, 3 boys and 1 woman.
Okay.
Okay?
Because I was going to say, like, if it was 4 boys, would this be during the days of the preparatory, just being at like a guy's school?
It would. I mean, this would have still been back when St. Vincent was only guys only.
Oh, never mind.
Women didn't come here until the 1980s. But yeah, you might have some women that came up from Seton Hill or something, or just
hung
like
out with the guys. Yeah.
Anyhow, the 4 of them go back into the woods behind Sauerkraut Tower because they hear that there is a lot of ghost spirits and everything back there.
Oh,
Okay.
You're giving me chills, man.
And you know what? This is going to get even worse, and I'm going to put a little bit of a notice here. They took their Ouija board with them. Huge thing, just to let everybody know, don't use Ouija boards. Nada.
I think my aunt once.
I am very against them. My mentor, Holly, always told me, never go after them. They are nothing but bad news. And so I still listen to that today, where I don't ever want to deal with... You're good. If I absolutely have to take care of one because somebody was being an idiot, okay, that's when I will finally get involved with them. But for the most part, I am very much against anybody using Ouija boards.
Yeah.
So, the 4 people, they go back there, and what happens is, using the Ouija board. Now, a reminder from our previous episode is that St. Vincent is built on top of Native American burial grounds, the cemetery, and an orphanage. So there was a bunch of other stuff here over the years.
Like I said, a Stephen King novel in the making, but anyways.
Yeah. So what happens is after a short period of time of them trying to communicate through the Ouija board, they hear a voice as clear as day. So let's say that you're one of the kids. So let's say that you're here, you're playing with your Ouija board, and you just hear somewhere around there a voice say the following: "Throw yourselves into the well."
There was a well back there?
Apparently.
That's the immediate point that I was like, there was a well?
Yeah.
Not that like, oh, you should throw yourself down there.
However, that's not it. They say, this voice says, "Throw yourselves into the well, and I will save you." Now, this freaked out the 4 of them. This freaked them out, and they ran out of the woods.
That sounds like something like a devil trying to like tempt you. Like, hey, look, if you do this,
and hey, for all we know, this still could be the faceless monk.
Oh,
this absolutely could be the faceless monk doing this. So, what this is, that you get way too scared easily.
Well, the idea of a face
I know.
there, and like
I know.
like we're behind the
I know,
woods and
I know.
everything.
Yeah. Because we got cars and people walked by.
I'm jumpy now that I think this is the first time I've gotten like really jumpy.
Well, here's where it gets even better. So after they hear that voice,
better, he says.
after they leave the woods, scared to death about what they had just heard, this voice saying, "Jump into the well and I will save you." They continued to hear this voice throughout the next few days, like for 3 days or so, at random times.
That's
They could be
creepy.
in their room. They could be anywhere on campus, and they would just hear this voice: "Throw yourselves into the well, and I will save you." Finally, it got to 3 of them so badly that three of them.
I assume it was the 3 dudes
Actually, no, it was 2 of the guys and the one
and the
girl
one woman. Oh.
jumped into the well, drowned, and died. Their bodies were never recovered. The 4th one, however, within just hours after the 3 had jumped into the well and died, did the 4th one stop hearing that voice.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this now, potentially, because as alluded to previously, we did do it like an like we walked around because like I think we were doing something else related to the radio, but then you were like Matt was like, "Oh, let me take you."
Oh no, we
back.
were just having fun. We were just on an adventure.
We were just on an adventure, and we walked past this thing, and I think I know.
In fact, if I remember correctly, this is where we first came up with the idea of getting you interested and involved in the paranormal, because I was telling the stories of this tower and everything.
It probably was, yeah.
Now, with that, I don't believe that the well is there anymore. I'm guessing they probably filled it in. I could be wrong. I've ventured back there.
Oh, I have a different theory, but we'll say that for.
Oh, do you mean the thing that we?
I was going to say that thing
that
right
could
there.
be. That could be.
I was going to say
there's a little area. It's got like some huge metal door, kind of like something right next to it. That could be it. For all I
well,
know.
it's a metal door, and it's like surrounded by
by those little brick
like pedestals.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Imagine like a little like a square of concrete and like bricks. It's just
it's
like
brick with like a concrete top.
a little
that
pedestal.
That could have been the well. That could have been. I don't know the exact history. I will have to talk with one of the historians on campus and see what they know. But
again,
anyhow,
we'll add an amendment if that's true.
Yeah. Anyhow, what happens is this. When I come here my freshman year, I start hearing about this neat Sauerkraut Tower. So, of course, I learn up about Brother Traxler. Still so cool. I'm always going to be hyping up Brother Traxler.
You're hyping up like every guy you've met on this campus.
No, just Brother Traxler.
Okay.
Anyhow, I come over, I see the building, I learn a little bit about it, and right away, from my previous experience in paranormal field before coming here, did I already know that there was something over here. Because for me, one thing that happens is when dealing with spirit, depending on how much energy they have and what level you would want to classify their energy and their abilities at, which C or D would be the lowest, D, C, B, A being the highest. However, I've even experienced, as we would call it, double A, because it was all virgin.
You are tapping into my skepticism, but again, that is a conversation for a different day. Yeah. Continue.
Ultimately, I come over here, and how I was kind of trained up is I feel different levels of pressure within my chest. Almost like if I know that you were a swimmer. So pretend that you're back over at the pool in Cary, and you go down to the lowest part.
Submerge yourself.
Yeah, all the way down to the bottom, on how you just feel that pressure surrounding you. Imagine that inside your chest.
Yeah. See, that is where I'm like less skeptical. Because it's like, okay, that's real to me at least. I haven't felt it ever, again, because I've never done this, but like I can believe that.
And see, like even right now, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure, but I know that spirits around here know me now, and they know not to mess with me. They know that I'm here to do everything in light and love. From that side, I'm not there to bring anything bad. Anyhow, from where we're at, so we're right here in front of the door, but if you know this area, for anybody who is here at Saint Vincent or ever comes to Saint Vincent, the road starts to dip down, and it's got a little bit of a hill here, and there's an old wall right there that's up against the woods. Now, I kid you not, whether this is, maybe the faceless monk. Maybe this is that, whether he's the one or just whatever that voice was that was telling those kids, throw yourselves into the well. It could be the monk who died in here. These could all be connected. We don't know. I noticed right away that pressure got very, very heavy for me from here going down that hill until it starts to curve.
Well, and again, if that is the well over there,
That would explain a whole lot.
If it's the faithless monk, if it is a dark energy or whatever else is over that, it is a dark energy.
Yeah.
Then, if it was a dark thing manipulating these kids, and that's the well,
Yeah.
hence.
Now, ultimately, I know that there is some kind of very dark force being because I've seen some kind of large black shadowed figure back there in the woods behind the wall and behind a lot of the trees, so you can't make out if it's a person or what it is, but it is something dark, it is something heavy. Now, this is also one of the places that late at night I would bring semi-paranormal equipment to. Now, I forgot my K2 meter on me tonight. I apologize. I am sorry.
I mean, we never really used it, so it's like...
Well, I mean, we're going to start using them.
Well, I mean, you did use it for Aurelius, but that was like kind of minor.
Ultimately, the K2 picks up on different levels of EMF. And what happened, Jake? I kid you not. I used to have both of my K2 meters with me when I come over here, and both of them, as you had seen when we've used them just at previous times.
I
It starts with light green, then it goes to a dark green, orange, yellow, or my mistake, yellow, light orange, light red, dark red, something along those lines.
This was off show, but we did use it like somewhat down in
Yeah, we did that
the
after.
Gristmill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did that after. Yeah. I kid you not that both of my K2s lit up entirely full dark red, like not even
for a long period of time,
for
or
consistent time until I turned them off. From the moment that I turned them on until I turned them off.
so you telling me like, face the camera so we can talk to the audience. I'm paranoid as crap right now, man. All right, like
You're safe. You're safe.
No offense.
You're safe. Trust me.
I trust you.
Stick with me, kid.
I'm just like I'm still like
Yeah.
if I see something, I'm gonna
crap my
Anyhow.
pants. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
That would be a great bonus feature. I'm kidding. I'm
Please
sorry.
don't.
I'm kidding. Just watching you get scared would be amazing.
I would be scared. If you've seen me scared before, like you know how bad it can get. He's done it to me before. But anyways,
it's funny.
Continue.
Anyhow, both K2s. I mean, when I say that they're dark red, like these were not flashing. These were just totally lit up like a regular light, and it was darker than your beanie. The famous red beanie, everybody. We forgot to introduce you to it.
Nobody. It's famous among a select group of people. Don't listen to this.
He
man.
even took his team photo with the beanie on, so it's infamous.
Don't
here.
listen to the. Well,
It's
for
your
the
trademark.
for the team. It's my
your trademark.
Oh, yes. Okay. Go.
Anyhow,
Yes.
I even brought Phasma Box over here. Again, one of my all-time favorite pieces of equipment, as well as the SLS, but I do not have a SLS that's working right now. Hopefully that will change soon. When I had Phasma here, I was talking with Spirit, and holy crap. The amount of spirits that I had trying to talk to me, and again, when I finally was able to pick up on whatever that dark force is, I do believe it's some kind of human being, whether it is the faceless monk or this monk here in the tower or anything.
I got a chill from that, but also like my leg.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
You're good. Anyhow, when I started talking to this dark entity that's back there in the woods or around here, it was a very, very heavy, very low voice that was coming over Phasma Box. And when I tried talking to it, it was not happy that I was there. It wanted me out from this area. It did. And I even said, look, I'm here in light and love. I'm here as a good helper. I am not here to cause you any harm or anything. And this thing wanted nothing to do with me. I mean, it was very, very dark.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but like I said, did you just hear that? Because intermittently, I've been hearing what sounds like a group of people back there with what sounds like somebody who is female, potentially.
Are you sure that's not also coming right over there from the...
No, I'm hearing it from over there.
All right.
On my life,
It might be the wind.
I'll concede to that.
There's a lot of things around me that, like, again, like...
I actually have some friends back there that are just trying to scare you. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Well, no,
I wish. That would be great, though.
Again.
Anyhow, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, during different times, I would be back here, and I'm picking up on Spirit. Here comes another car.
Yeah. Well, that I heard that rustling over there.
Yeah.
That's what scared me.
Oh.
Okay, now that the cars pass by, Yeah, I was able to really talk with Spirit here, and like I said, that pressure, and I don't know if it's the Dark Spirit or if it's the one there in the tower. I remember I was out on a walk one night, and I'm walking right around where we're at, and I felt a piercing pain, like I had just been stabbed on the inside of my chest. Like I actually went down, like I fell to the ground in pain.
You got near the presence of Lord Voldemort or something.
Whatever.
Sorry, that's bad.
Yes, it was. It was absolutely.
Oh.
But no, so there are some things here, and people continue to tell different stories about there being dark spirits in the woods and in Sauerkraut Tower. And I know when we didn't walk by here, he's watching us right now. I wish that you guys could see the second story because I just saw him peering from, so it would be my right side right now. Peering right off the edge there of the window. So this is great. Yeah.
I don't mean you any harm, please.
And hey, you know what? They might see something in the future, whether it's an orb or, another dark spirit walking around or something. But that is all I have. I know this is a shorter episode. And that's all. That's really what I wanted for it. But I wanted to do this one because we are coming up on Thanksgiving. And on behalf of all of WSVC, happy Thanksgiving. And in the spirit of Saint Vincent, with our German heritage, and with Thanksgiving dinner, since we're here, I think that we should all celebrate with a little bit of sauerkraut.
Did you actually bring sauerkraut?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I was...
That would have been commitment to the bit that I would have applauded, but
I'm actually not the biggest fan of sauerkraut.
I don't even know what it is. I've never had it.
I mean... I'll eat it like on my Reuben, but that's about it. And I have to have a very thin layer of sauerkraut on
Never had it.
With that, I don't have anything else. Any other last minute questions?
Not for me. No.
All right. Well then, that brings us to the end of this episode of Unearthing the Unknown.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. I actually got it right without messing anything up.
Right.
But until then, I'm Matt Boyer.
And I'm Jacob Bacasa.
We'll see you next week. Hey there, listeners. I'm Matt Boyer, station manager of WSVC Radio. If you like what you're listening to, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button to be notified with all of our updates. Every day, one of our shows will be releasing a new episode. Stick around and tune in.